What's up everyone, welcome back to Just Finish Coding. This is part 3 of our mastermind series on Scratch 3, so let's get coding.
Just finished coding.
Now quick interjection here, if you've not watched parts 1 and 2, please watch them before you come here because we're picking up from where we left off and you'll be very lost. I'll leave a card for you right here. Please watch the videos and then come right back. If you're still here, I'm going to assume that you've watched parts 1 and 2, in which case you should have your intro screen as well as the move maker sprite set up. And in this video, we'll code it in such a way that our entire board is set up when we receive the show main game message. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to start off by duplicating the move maker sprite because I've rearranged all of the costumes perfectly. Now you can rename the sprite to be board, and after that you can actually just throw out all your code. So I'm going to zoom out to the maximum and throw out all these blocks of code one by one. So I'm going to chuck these things out. And I'm doing this because our costumes are set up and while you could technically upload the costumes once again, it's just easier to do it this way. So now I'm going to head over to variables once again and delete all of these variables which are for the sprite only. So I'm going to keep all the global variables obviously, but you can delete all the others. Alright, there we are, and now we can get into the code of the board sprite. I'm going to start this off with a when I receive initialize. And at this point, I'm going to zoom in so that you can see better. And at this point, you have to make sure that all the clones are deleted. Because remember, at the end of the game, we will be having, a play again button. So we won't want all the clones duplicated once more. So when we receive initialize, we'll first hide. And then we'll also delete all clones. And since this is an event, it's going to apply to every single clone. So all of the clones are going to hide first and then delete themselves, except the sprite itself, which will be responsible for forming the clones. Alright, so once we receive initialize, we'll do this. And now head over to events once again and grab this block which says when I receive. And here you can say when I receive show main game. Now here I'll be setting up two functions. The first one is going to be begin, and I'm actually going to not run without screen refresh because we'll have a goto. But I don't think there's going to be any harm if you do, but just follow me along. And the second function is going to be called reset clones. So these two are the functions that we'll need, and you do not want to click this at all. Okay, just avoid this here. And now what we can do is put in the begin function first and then put in the reset clones function after that. And within the begin function, here's what you need to do. First, we need to hide the sprite, and after that we will also need to set up two more variables. And you can actually delete this game start x variable. I think I would have accidentally left that. And you need to make two variables, and that kind of seemed a coincidence, but you'll need a game start x and a game start y, but both set for the sprite only. So game start x, okay, and game start y. So game start y. There we go, and set it for the sprite only. Perfect. So now I'm going to set game start x to be, so where's that? Yeah, set game start x to be, and I'm also going to grab the set game start y block, and game start x is going to be 285, negative 285 actually. So it's going to be right to the extreme left of the x-axis. And game start y on the other hand, this is going to be 190. So we'll be having this kind of at the very top. Okay, so now this is going to be all we need in our begin function. And within our reset clones function, we will have to set up two more variables. So the first one, and both of them have to be for the sprite only. So we'll set up clone x and we'll also set up clone y. And what these two variables are going to do is essentially to give each of these coins an ID, if you want to think about it like a graph. So the top left would be 1, 1, right below that would be 2, 1, and so on. Okay, so we'll be hiding these two variables, and after that I'll be setting clone x to be 1, and then I'll also set clone y to be 1. So after you're done setting these two things, now you can head over to control and grab a repeat 10, and after this repeat 10, okay, you need to do two things. First is you need to change clone y by 1, and you will also before that need to set clone x to 1. So set clone x to 1. And right before that, you need to add in another repeat 4. So we're having a nested repeat loop essentially. So repeat 4. And in this case, what I'll do is to create clone of myself, and that's in control as well. So oops, create clone of myself, and each clone has to have a definite ID. So if we just have this in place, all our clone x's are going to be same. So we'll have 4 clone y's as the same thing, and then we'll have clone y changing, but our clone x would always be 1, which is not what we want. So what I'll do is to add an additional change clone x by 1 right here. And this is all we need within our reset clones function to actually have a whole bunch of clones, 40 clones to be precise, with different clone IDs. Obviously, this alone is not really going to result in any kind of output because we'll just have 40 clones stacked on top of each other, which really makes no sense. So what I'm going to do now is to make another function, and this is going to be like the setup clone function. So I'm going to make a new block and I'll call this setup, okay? And we'll have 4 different parameters we'll put in. The first one will be clone x. The second one will be clone y. The third one would be x dimension, or xdim for short. And the fourth one will be ydim. And do not click on run without screen refresh. And now we can click OK. So this is going to be the block right here. And I'm going to start off by having an if-else condition. So if, and here I'm going to grab an and from the operators and put in 2 equal to's. So I'm first going to check if the x number, or clone x, is equal to 5 and clone y is equal to I believe 11. So this is going to be the case of the sprite itself, and since I'll be hiding the sprite throughout, I'll add in a hide right there. And after that, I'll be switching the costume to be this is actually within the else, so I'll be switching costume to be blank, and I will also be having this main block of code which is going to result in the arrangement. So within the x-axis, I'm going to say go to, grab a plus, and I'll be having a multiplied by within this. So I'll be saying go to start game start x. So where's that? Yeah, game start x plus clone x multiplied by x dimension plus, or not actually plus, and in our y, we're going to have a minus instead of a plus. And within the first one, I'm going to put in the start game start y, and I'm going to follow that up with a multiplied by, just the way I did it in my x-axis. And here I'll be putting clone y times y dimension. And it's important to note that at this point we're not showing anything. All of our clones are going to be hidden. So I'm going to add in a show after all of this. And this is pretty much all you need for your arrangement. So to finish off the setting up, all you have to do is to grab a when I start as a clone, and I'm actually just going to realign this a little bit better. Alright, there we go. And now I'm going to zoom in once again. So all you have to do is head over to control and grab a when I start as a clone, and you can put this function right here. So within the clone x, what I'll be doing is putting in the clone x variable. Clone y, I'll put in the clone y variable. Within the x dimension, I'm going to put in 70, and within the y dimension, I'm going to put in 30. And that is pretty much it. So now when we press the green flag and then enter in some secret code and then press done, you can see that all of these guys set up perfectly within our game grid. Now before I end this video, I'll also be doing the same thing for the evaluation sprite. So now what you can do is to duplicate the board sprite and instead call this evaluations. And within this evaluation sprite, what you can do is head over to costumes, and we'll delete all of these costumes. So you won't need any of these, and obviously you'll have one left. And you can click on upload costume, and within the drive folder, you can now click on evaluations and get these 3 costumes in there. So there we go. Now I'm going to delete this P costume. And now within the code, you need just a couple of changes. So I'll first be changing the game start x to be 10 instead of whatever that was, because we need it to start right after this line right here, and 10 is the ideal number. And what I'm going to do after that is, okay, I just realized that I had a clone x somewhere here, so I'm going to take that out. And after that, what I'm going to do within our board evaluations is I'm going to scroll down, or actually scroll right to this reset clones block. And what I'm going to do is to set our size to be 80. Now maybe I'll do this within the begin itself so that all our clones have the same thing, but we'll have to set the size to be 80% of what the board is literally. And right after that, within our when I start as a clone, I'm going to reduce the x dimension to be about 50. So we'll be having not as much, not as wide as our main board, but we'll be having some gap between the two. So now I'm going to click the green flag and do the same thing once again. And now when I press the done button, you can see that both our evaluations and our board is set up perfectly. So I'm going to end this video right here. In the next video, you'll start to see some output when we enter in the move on the move maker, and you'll start to see the same thing happen on the board, and we'll return an evaluation within the evaluations sprite. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.